Imagine yourself floating to the highest elevation, lighting up your vision because you're proud. It's just different.
Live and outrageous from the middle of the world win. We win still. Damn right I'll flow. I ain't no joke, I'm rockin' with the flow. They can drown in the flow, they been drawn to the current, better get you a boat. I'm going to the ship, I'm sure for sure. I've been lost, but had to find myself. I'm just a prophet, but I need wealth. I'm more than a man, just being myself. But most prophets gon' still need help. Shit, you can ask Moses. He had to double back for the knowledge. I be breaking down scripture like God's in the promise. Land on the other side of your blinder, but some don't wanna remove them lenses. Some don't wanna climb that mountain. The mountain of youth all in my semen. I'm procreative ever since I found her. Queen Amina, goddess. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I go. Yeah. Damn right I flow. I ain't no joke, I'm rockin' with the flow. They can drown in the flow, they been drawn to the current. Better get you a boat. I'm going to the ship, I'm sure for sure. I've been lost, I had to find myself. I'm just a prophet, but I need wealth. I'm more than a man, just being myself. But most prophets will still need help. Shit, ask my father and my mother, they had to help me. I was searching for love in the highs and the lows, but then I fell in love with the peace. I was trying to sound so perfect. I was like, look at me, but they started using me as a mirror, cause we are reflections. That's way too deep, that ain't way too deep. I swam with the sharks and I ran with the lions, contemplating suicide, but listen close. I had to kill things about myself. I crossed that out and then I rose. I come from the east with a word. Watch how I walk on flows. Some don't really wanna hear that there. Get to know me or leave me alone. Damn right I flow. Damn right I float, damn right I go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I go. Yeah, damn right I float, damn right I go. Yeah, look. Damn right I float. I ain't no joke, I'm rockin' with the flow. They can drown in the flow, they been drawn to the current. Better get you a boat. I'm going to this ship, I'm sure for sure. I've been lost, but had to find myself. I'm just a prophet, but I need wealth. I'm more than a man, just being myself. But most prophets will still need help. Shit, you can ask. Amen.
I love you.
And I share.
Always and always. Namaste.
Yo, let me turn this camera on. Welcome to yet another episode of ADQ's Renaissance. I'm your host with the most, keeping 100 from coast to coast through God our boast. ADQ. Yo, it is Sunday, August the 1st, 2021. Is it me or is this daggone year going by really fast? It's going by faster than a crack baby on faster than a crack baby jacked up on caffeine and a Red Bull. This year is going by so fast. Hey, one month from now, your boy's gonna be turning 36. 1 month from now, your boy's gonna be 36 years old. Praise God for that. Praise God, praise God, praise God. So, speaking of God, yo, we got some God energy in the building. I mean, of course, you got some God energy in the building when I'm talking, but we got some extra power up in this building. Now, I'm going to tell you who. This brother represents the S.O.U.L Society. That's right, the S.O.U.L Society is back in the building. Shout out to Born King. We had him last year. S.O.U.L Society, which is to support opportunity, unity, and leadership. Let's talk about their philosophies and their mission. The mission is to motivate people to work together and provide resources for people to prosper, living a positive life while contributing to the community in a productive way. Woo! We are implementing a village mentality, bringing the people together to share positive and productive energy. You know, I do feel like I could daggone climb a mountain when I'm around these brothers. We plan to help people tap into the gifts of their soul and locking in on their personal life purpose by providing platforms, all these P words, for experience and exposure, while also bringing in talent and expertise to inspire, motivate, and mentor. Now, their philosophy. A major problem in the community is the lack of opportunities for middle and lower class communities. Young people growing up in poverty can only be as good as the education that they get and the things that they see people invest their hope into. Yes, people become criminals by seeing other people they look up to or just seeing other people provide for their family by committing crimes. At the end of the day, everybody in trying to secure comfort and stability. So we want to expose the people to different things and open up doors of opportunity that will allow them to create positive means of providing themselves. This man once said in a lyric, I've been on my ever since I started thinking different. I started feeling life different, started living. Self-care. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to ADQ's Renaissance, brother T.Walker. Yo, T, what's up, brother?
What's happening with you, ADQ? How you feeling, bro?
I am feeling incredible. I am living the dream at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. Those of y'all who get thirsty every now and then, like I do, boom, you know, this is the route to go, right, brother?
Absolutely. Seek no further.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Bible says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God," and you know, I tell you, this water that alkaline water that y'all be pushing makes you feel God-like, like for real.
I believe that because I know that.
Absolutely. So, brother, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm all good. You know, it's been a beautiful weekend. You know, so I'm just continuing to ride off the energy. You know, the heavy energy that is.
That heavy energy. Yo, I gotta ask you something. So, ever since I first met y'all brothers, you and King, right? Y'all have this very educated vernacular about how you present your mission and all that you are on. Did you always talk like that?
Yeah, you know, I always, had a way of, articulating, what it is, the points I wanted to get across, the messages that I wanted to get across. So, I guess it's always improved in different ways, as, growth comes about as you have conversations with other educated people, as you get better at articulating, your thoughts, your messages, your expressions and things of that nature. And then as you become in a position of teaching other people, that you got to continue to grow in it as well. So I feel like I've always had it. It's just been constant growth, and finding the right words as well.
You're not originally from North Carolina, are you?
I grew up in North Carolina. I was born in Wilmington, Delaware. And
Right.
I would, go back there, summers, but I spent majority of my time in North Carolina, so I did, some traveling, I would go back to, like I said, Delaware during the summers. My grandfather, me and King, and our other cousins, our grandfather, took us different places, during the summer, where we would spend a week, just us, the men, learning and doing different things. But all of those things contributed to the experience of us just seeing the world and, further learning what it is that was out there and how to go get it.
So this is proof right here. You're proof, okay? One could look at our current president, Joe Biden, and think, dang, bad things come from Delaware. No, good things come from Delaware. And you're a living proof of it, sir. Now,
Indeed.
I gotta ask you. So I've been listening to your joints and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who has an ear for hip hop and an appreciation for hip hop, T.Walker definitely has to be on that playlist, especially if you're going around saying stuff like, if I'm really being honest, being honest, sorry, my bad handwriting. If I'm really being honest, I'm losing touch with that previous, oh heck, I'm going to read a lyric. If I'm being honest, I'm losing touch with that previous shit that they taught us.
Yeah, from America to Z.
I've been trying to find myself. I've been trying to find myself. Food for your thought. I know you feeling. I know you're feeling famished.
Mm-hmm.
Now, real quick, I want you to tell me. I think I know what you're talking about, but it's never safe to assume. What's the previous stuff that they taught us?
Christopher Columbus, discovered America is one of those previous things, that they taught us, that they continue to still teach, so that's one of those things, that milk builds strong bones, and these are things that they teach children, so these are things that continue, throughout your life, that you implement in your life, and then you as a parent continue to pass down. So those are, just some of the things, that's taught, even certain, learning, about different religions. I grew up in a Christian family, Christian household still, but there are certain times where you'll get taught that people in the Nation of Islam or in the world, that are Muslims and things like that are bad people, or that you can't deal with other people that practice other things. And those might be just some other closed-minded, people that, that have learned in a way they were, so there are certain things that that I'm shaking, or that I have broken and have shaken, and are continuing to learn other things and develop alliances with other phenomenal people, because I am shaking some of these things. I intend to shake up the school system a little bit, by not teaching some of these things and continuing the same type of education. So I mean, there's a lot of different things, even like my eating habits. you know uh I'm shaking some of those things, and not that it was intentionally taught, because these are things that our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, family, friends have done all their life. You like, I'm learning different ways to to mind and how I interact with people, or my quality of life and things of that nature. A lot of different things are being broken, still are, because I'm still continuing to learn.
So my response to that is, I remember while working as a TA, I worked for a school system, but I'm not going to tread lightly. I'm going to tread truthfully. So I work during my work as a TA, I saw how my lead teacher was teaching the kids about Christopher Columbus, and I was
Hmm.
thinking, wow, we're in 2021, right? It's time that
Hmm.
we abolish all the syllabuses that the Daughters of Confederacy has presented to school systems to teach kids, because this is a blatant lie. Milk, that's cow pus. That is
Hmm.
stuff that builds up into a cow that's milk that's meant to feed a baby cow, not
Hmm.
us. Let's see. You and I both know a brother, a very great and articulate brother who looked like baby Malcolm, who was
Hmm.
who was a member of the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
I don't know about you, but one of my most favorite albums that dropped last year was basically a soundtrack to the Nation of Islam. I am referring to a written testimony. So
Hmm.
anybody who thinks that that's a bad thing is wrong, because I'll even go this far. Malcolm X. When he came out of jail, he went straight to the. When he came out of jail, he found the Nation of Islam in jail. Came out of jail, was pretty much doing his thing. He built his name while being in the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam helped him become who he was.
Right.
So that puts complete mistruth. That's those are lies. You know what I'm saying? And I like how you are talking about um growing past it, right?
Absolutely. Moving past a lot of different things. I mean, there's so many different things that we're taught, and ways of life, that we live, that we have to kind of, break down. Even the idea that you have to go to college in order to be successful. I'm really realizing now that, man, I'm seeing a lot of kids start businesses at early ages, because they have talents and expertise. And I feel like we as a community can cultivate those things. And not that we haven't already, but it's not the majority. So these are things that I'm looking to implement out in the whole world, you know, in my own children's lives, in my own niece and nephew's lives, you know, and then continuing, you know, that cycle from there, creating new cycles.
So you said so you said that you came up in a Christian household. Tell me this: how does T.Walker how does you mind if I put your government out there?
Terrence Walker, yeah, they know that.
Yeah, Terrence. Yeah, I mean the T gotta stand for something, right?
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle. but but you mentioned growing up in a Christian household. I hear bits and pieces of Christian messages in your music, but I see more conscious than anything. So for those out there who have fully ascribed to Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light, if you ain't Team Jesus, then you are going to burn in all eternity.
Right.
How did I feel like you don't ascribe to that way of thinking? So what caused your change from that, you know, Team Jesus or Team Fire to
Right.
where you at this current moment?
Just simple exposure, you know, by really connecting with other people, you know, who were Buddhists, you know, who were in the Nation of Islam, you know, who people that meditated, you know, versus prayed, which to me is really the same thing. You know, I think we have all different paths, you know, to God, to Allah, who, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you choose the name, you know what I'm saying, or whatever name has been chosen through, you know what I mean, your cultural practices. But these type of things, you know, expose that to me. And I feel like everything is like different bits and pieces of a puzzle. So there's things that Christianity has and practices that the Nation of Islam has, and a certain piece, you know, that people practice in Buddhism, you know, that we all are in the same direction, you know, but I feel like culturally there have been things that have been placed here to, you know, make us be combative, you know, so that we don't join forces, you know, and, you know, really push, you know, further and higher and bring all of our tools and sources together, but not to make the answer longer. Exposure, you know, just that simple, by having conversations, you know, with other people, by having conversations with other Christians who didn't think like I guess the typical or stereotypical Christian, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So that was really it, exposure.
Marcus Garvey, who was a Christian man, would say that the key for the prerequisite for connecting is not your religion, is the fact that you're black and you're on code and you're down for the cause, right?
Hmm.
And I think that that is a mindset that should still be championed, because, you know, saying that there is only one way, well, you know, everybody thinks that there's one way, and my way may not be your way, or your way may not be my way. It just depends on the person.
Right.
So I got to ask you about the bars. I want to ask you about the movement, but I gotta ask you about the bars.
Talk
All
to
right,
me. Let's dissect them.
these bars, man. These bars. These are not. How old are you, man?
I'm 32. I'll be 33 on Tuesday.
32. Oh, happy early birthday, Leo season.
Yes, indeed.
So I ask you because I remember back in the 2000s, the early 2000s, you know, music was just popping out the South, popping out the South, popping out the
Hmm.
South. You remember that time? The only rapper we had representing us here in North Carolina was Pete Pablo.
Hmm.
Very few rappers from the South were known for lyrics, were known for bars, were known for saying the type of stuff you be saying. It was pretty much Gilpin. Maybe my bad. Maybe the Ghetto Boys were saying stuff like that, but no one from North Carolina until Lil Brother came on the scene.
Hmm.
But most of the rappers, especially on the mainstream, were in the club pushing people, saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I gotta ask you, when you say things like, let's see, I got bad handwriting. Speak behind my back, feel me opposite of my love. Feel the opposite of my love. Speak behind my back, feel the opposite of my love. Picture one of them rap. Picture Lil Jon saying something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when it comes to the bars, who would you say is like your top 5 influences? Your top 5
influences. So what I mean, I grew up listening to a lot of, different artists. So I grew up listening to Jay-Z. One of the first albums I purchased myself was DMX Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
What?
Yes, sir. You know what I mean? I listened to Outkast.
Woo!
I was listening to, I remember, when we had BearShare, when you could download all different types of music. That was my introduction to Kanye West before College Dropout even, happened. There was a lot of his like mixtape, music that was coming out that you can find on YouTube now. And I was really fascinated by Kanye, by the production and by the way he was pushing out, lyrics, as well, and the things he was saying in his lyrics. And then I loved when he would, drop the albums and you would find certain things from those old mixtapes that would pop up. Lil Wayne, was one of my favorite artists, because I loved the way that he just constantly came up with different metaphors, but there would be so many different rhyme schemes and patterns within the lyrics. That was crazy. And those are the type of things that I listen for and listen to. Cadences are very important to me. And Wayne had it, like that. Twister, was very influential. I actually named my first rap name, and I might have said this on the interview before. I think I have with Main Man, but one of my first rap names back when I was, doing the chat room raps and things like that was Kamikaze. And I named myself that after Twister's album, Kamikaze. So rap really, like, I got a lot of education from rap, which is why I'm so intentional with certain things I put in there now, because I will look up words, based off of things I might have heard Andre 3000 say, or Wayne, who was a psychology major, say, or things that Kanye, or groups like Do or Die, I like their sounds and melodies. And then Twister would have an album named Kamikaze, and I got to go look that up. And I was fascinated by the definition of it, and I was like, dang, okay, sometimes I think a little wild and crazy. And music is one of those places where I could express that, even though I wasn't considering myself an artist at that time because I was an athlete. But these are some of the people that influenced me. I grew up singing in the church choir, so Kirk Franklin was somebody that inspired me, because songs like Melodies from Heaven wasn't your typical church song, so and I rocked with the way that he was able to make hip hop, make R&B artists, make everybody who grew up in the church or came from the South with, and that's a part of your background. He put that on the mainstream and made it sound dope. It didn't sound like something that just your great grandma and them were singing. So these are some of the things and people that influenced me. I can, probably continue to go down the list, but these are, some of the things and people. I think you asked me to give 5. I'll probably give you 15.
You gave me some good ones. I mean, I'm kind of slapping myself because I didn't mention Outkast. Outkast quality lyricists, and they were very creative. Lil Wayne, we started getting like super creative with the Carter, the first Carter, which I believe is the best Carter. So and as far as Kirk Franklin goes, Kirk Franklin's always been dialed in, been tapped in. I mean, shoot, he has a song out with Lil Baby right now. Whoever thought Lil Baby would do a gospel song, right? So so what?
And I said, who knew?
Who knew?
That would happen. But that's the perfect, example of, if we in a direction, then we should collaborate and come together. The same way that people expect Crips and Bloods to come together, and the world is in shambles. Christian, Muslims, math teachers, scientists, hip hop artists, visual artists, we should all come together and take this mission to another level, because we need each other.
I agree. We totally need each other. When it's two heads are better than one.
Mm-hmm.
However, with your chorus and float, you said on Rakim with the flows. So I assume Rakim had influence there too, right?
Yeah, well, I more so say my mother and my father had the influence, so I listened to a bit of Rakim, but all of those things came through my mom and my dad, who grew up in hip hop. So now they gave me the influence through these people, and then through like different movies, that came, through hip hop. So really, that was like a homage to my mom and my dad at the same time.
Very, very dope. That is dope. Shout out to a 2-parent household. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it wasn't, but I got a chance to experience both of them, without it being like crazy. It was, I can go see my dad, for the summers, and then I come back home, and they had a cordial relationship, so it wasn't like they were bumping heads. So I did get a chance to, see, something like that work.
Well, in that case, I'll say shout out to a 2-parent upbringing. In float, you say I swam with the sharks, walked with the lions, contemplated suicide, but
listen close. I had to kill things about myself. I crossed that out, and then I rose.
Yes, had to kill things about yourself and cross that out, and then rose.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree that a lot of us are very scared to kill things about ourselves? A lot of us get stuck in our own ways, thus stunting our growth as human beings.
It's evident, it's very evident, in the way, I mean, you can see how people now are transitioning into vegan and vegetarian lifestyles, and other people who aren't required to make that change have so much to say about that sometimes. And it's like, nah, for one, that's not your change. Two, you could make that change too, but I think you kind of stuck in your ways. And that's cool. Whenever change comes for you, it will. But I think that's yeah, absolutely. Some people are just so afraid of change, or breaking tradition and creating new tradition.
Yeah, and it's like me, I don't like tradition. Tradition, like what happens in what works in 2021 isn't something that will work back in 2001 or even 2011. Definitely not 1991.
Absolutely.
But as far as the bars go, so I heard this one song, right? It kind of like elevated my lyrical expectation, right? It's comma in the corner, right?
Mm.
That rhyme scheme. He was saying stuff like black church services, murder bits, they rab serving burgers, and cats with gold furnaces. I'm like, what? What? Street lights and deep nights, cats trying to eat right, riding on seat bikes. They work the feet high so they could get sweet things. I'm like, what? Common ain't rap like that, but still. And I've been trying to find it. I really have, but he hasn't. And it's been hurting my feelings not hearing him rhyme like that. But so tell me this. What would you say with your bars? What would you say as you are being an intentional artist? What's your goal?
My goal is really to just inspire, so as people see my growth, I want people to aspire to continue to find growth within themselves. You can swim with the sharks, and you can walk with the lions, but you also, since we out here in this world, that is a jungle or safari, then there's so many different things amongst it as well. So, walk with the lions, but also fly with the birds, rise above, at the same time. So I'm really just aiming to inspire, and continue to tell my truth, at the same time. Sometimes my goal has nothing to do with other people. It's simply for me to just tell my truth, or find a therapeutic space, or just have fun. And I kind of want people to do the same thing as well. So not so much even focus on the fun of other people or the conscious part of it. Nah, do you know what I mean? Because all of that, if it's truly you, it's gonna be a part of that, so to do. And I
You
want to
know,
be able to display of that.
I will admit little ADQ information out there. I have been known to get on the mic and throw and say a bunch of words that rhyme in the past. Still do it seldomly. I write poems the same way I write poetry the same way I write raps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that? Do you write your poems, or do you write your spoken word differently than your rhymes?
I write it the same way. It's really just all writing to me, essentially.
Yeah, because rap to me stands for rhythm and poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you have told us, well, first of all, last question about the bars. How do you what's your writing process? Because again, I'm not blowing smoke, but when I listen to your songs, I feel like I'm in class. I don't know whether to call you T.Walker or Professor Walker. How do you put this all together?
Well, I do have a song called Professor Walker, that I did while I was in college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I mean, but that's somewhere on the internet. It was I don't even know where to find it. Maybe on my SoundCloud or something. But
It's somewhere.
my writing process, man, it's so many. I have so many different processes, these days as life constantly changes, as I'm a parent, as I'm an entrepreneur. So sometimes I don't find the time to sit and write. So I'll literally like ride to beats and sometimes just come up with my cadences and melodies until I have time to really like sit and focus. But for me, it's just really I'm constantly listening to beats and coming up with things that I want to say. I might be driving and I might listen to the same beat on my way home to Jacksonville from here. It'll take me 3 hours. I might listen to 2 or 3 beats the entire ride. Just going back and forth, playing it over and over in my head, constantly getting things and finding different, things that I want to put in there until it's stuck in my head. And then I'll do things like a open mic. I'll perform a song I've never even recorded
Mm.
to get a reaction, from a crowd to see how they respond to it or see how they respond to certain lyrics. And by the time I record it, that might dictate how I say something. It's a constant process, for me. And I'm sometimes the process is in front of the crowd. They just don't even know it. And so I like to experiment in those type of ways.
To me, and I know definitely firsthand that you have an experience for visual arts. I mentioned visual art because you are the type of artist that will put together a painting in front of a crowd and see. Let me see how they will feel about this line. Let me see how they will feel about this circle, this red paint instead of the expected blue paint, something like that, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah, you sir are an artiste. Now, hold up. Last question. I promise this is the last question about the bars because we gotta get to the soul. We gotta get to the soul.
Let's do it.
You dropped a new project last year. When's your next project?
I don't know. I'm actually thinking of doing a re-release of this project.
Do it.
Because I think people need to actually hear it. I had it only accessible really via my website, and some of the songs are on Spotify, Apple, et cetera, et cetera. But I really want people to tap in with this, and I have a lot of visuals, that'll be coming, from that project as well. So I'm in the process of working on some new things, constantly riding, listening to beats. One of our distributors in Atlanta, Water Distributors, is a phenomenal producer, in Atlanta, so I've been riding to some of his beats and just coming up with new things. And then I try things down in front of a crowd, sometimes in form of poetry, sometimes with the beat. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's one right there. That's going to work right there. Or I might be like, nah, I need to change that beat. So I don't know, you know what I mean? But this is, the 33 years, so Who knows, what's gonna come. Who knows?
I'm gonna start calling the 33rd year the Jesus year.
I've been hearing that a whole lot.
Hey, maybe you got some messages for someone. Maybe you need to help somebody walk across some water, or walk from one water end to another water end, meaning walk from the Dasani water to the live alkaline water. See what I just did there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So before we get to the water, because I want to say that the water, I'm not blowing smoke, but it is literally the best water I've ever had in my entire life. You can ask your brother, you can ask King. I am what you would call a repeat customer.
No doubt.
Because it is great, incredible water. I don't know if I look like I lost any weight, but dang it, that water made me feel like I lost weight. So, but first let's get to the soul. The soul society. What is the soul society? Yes, I could read the definition off of the internet, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Not calling you a horse, just using the phrase. What is the soul society, and why do brothers like me celebrate it very much? I think you know why, but just please espouse.
Well, we are a society, so, and we are constantly, connecting and touching with like-minded people who are on a similar mission to educate, people, to enlighten people, to get deeper into the ways of expression, by providing support or opportunity, spaces of unity, and creating leaders at the same time. And I feel like we are all leaders in different, spaces. But we also have to be taught how to follow each other as well. One of the things I let people know, or talk with people a lot when they fear, being the follower. I'm like, nah, Dr. King's movement would have been nothing if he didn't have to get hit with rocks with him. He was just the person whose name we know. But I mean, all these people behind him, they got spat on, they got hit with rocks, they got arrested, and all different type of things, So we're really a society, and of recreating, the godlike energy, within us, or letting people know about that within them. We really focus a lot on the youth because, we hear all the time that the youth is the future. So if we're going to focus on the future, if we're going to continue to build a future, then those are the ones that I'm constantly looking to pour into, while still connecting with their older brothers, their parents, and things of that nature, because everybody's got to be in tune, and it's all about the soul. So, soul society.
So when you say that, a Frederick Douglass quote comes to my mind. It's better to build a strong kid. It's better to build a strong kid than repair a broken adult. Something along those lines.
Absolutely.
And that's why I believe. Now, redemption, no one could be redempted 100%. Yeah, but most of the energy needs to go into the future. Would you agree that our people, unlike other cultures, most other cultures have like a 50-year generational plan, and we do not have one?
That is hard for me to agree with, because I can't say that every other culture does have that. We see that with some cultures, and then there's some segments within our culture that does have that. It's definitely not the mainstream, or not, the main number, so it's hard for me to totally agree, with that, and I don't really live, amongst those other cultures enough to know, so that's something that I probably would have agreed with, last year. But I'm constantly like learning that, man, some of these other cultures don't got it together either. You know what I mean? There are some that are maybe more privileged, but shit, in some cases they don't even got it together. It's just they just have certain levels of privilege, where they were able to pass things down. So that enhances even the plan that they might think of for 5 years. They might have certain steps ahead even without a plan. But I think we are working towards, implementing that, in the minds.
So I'm gonna tell you that's where I have a lot of appreciation for what you all do, because I've seen and heard of movements that feel like I've seen and heard of, conscious movements where they felt like in order to legitimize their movement, they had to put down other groups, right? Y'all don't do that. Y'all don't put down other groups. Y'all constantly focusing on building, and I like that.
Yeah.
It's like
It's too much energy. It's too much energy wasted, in trying to like focus, on what this group is doing or is not doing. We got so much work to do. It's like, nah, like, we gotta eat our breakfast over here and then get the lunch and then dinner. I can't even watch that person's plate. I know that they got food though, but we need to focus on this and then make sure everybody else got breakfast, within this tribe as well.
So tell me this: what does the growth of our people, and getting to a point where we are self-sustaining? Because as powerful and as major as the Soul Society is, it's not just the two. Yeah, it's just you and King in the Soul Society, right?
No, not really. I mean, we are the two that people see, but it's a lot of people that we work with that's Soul Society also.
Gotcha. All right. Well, y'all the ones that I see. Yeah. It's y'all two and everybody else who is involved, but it's more of a major thing that covers, worldwide. Well, I'll say nationwide. I'll say statewide. Would you say that the key thing is just focus on your area and then gradually move about different parts, spread the message?
Absolutely. And you can still spread the message while you are focusing solely on your area, so, and that's one thing that, I guess I have the privilege of as an artist. While I can affect and touch these schools and be in these schools more frequently or work with this collective more frequently, I can still go to Portland, Oregon and rock out a show there and get my message and go to a classroom there also, or DC or Baltimore, but come back home and probably learn things, from while I'm in DC or Portland or Philadelphia, and then come back home and make sure we are feeding, what I'm saying, this collective, a lot more, because this is where I'm at. And I gotta focus on home, because even while I'm on the road, this is where my nieces, nephews, my kids, my friends' kids, this is where they at. So definitely putting more of the energy here while continuing to spread it, at the same time.
Atlanta has Killer Mike. Mississippi has David Banner. Crenshaw had Nipsey, but I'm sure they had someone else in Nipsey's spot. We got y'all. Greensboro and Winston-Salem, we got y'all. Does that level of responsibility ever make you second guess anything, or does it just empower you to go in, like a lion, ready to just straight chomp someone's head off?
Straight like that, it's empowering. You know what I mean? Not only do you have ability, we have support. So that helps any movement and any mission continue to move forward and grow. It's when you have the support. If we didn't have support, then it would be too heavy, and we'd have to, figure out where it's going to come from. Because again, while, people see us in the movement and leading the charge, it's so many other people that assist and help us and support us that keep this thing moving, that continue to help us grow. We might not have met you if we didn't have support from other people that allowed us to like live in Greensboro, because we're not from Greensboro, but this is where we live, and this is where we are constantly, continuing to grow and build with other like-minded people. And it's only through the support, of the tribe and everybody that really rocks with and aligns with us.
Facts, man. Facts. Now I'm over here asking you everything. What does the soul society do? But I didn't even ask you how the soul society even come to be. How did it come to be?
Man, it's so many different things. So, our grandfather, was huge on, building and developing community. And, me and my cousins, my brothers, we saw that. Not only did we see it, we experienced it because we were along the ride with him for certain things as he would visit people, help people, do different things within the community. We'd also hear about it. So we were part of these things. So long story short, um, there were so many different things, going on within the community, in our hometown. And, me and bro, we were just in discussion of like the different things we could do as we were learning at the same time. And so we just decided to form the society. It was his idea, because he was really, passionate about, helping, the people and teaching. And I'm passionate about the arts and teaching through the arts. So we just combined all of these together, which is why it's important for everybody to not be focused or not be doing the same thing. You have to pull in people who have other levels of expertise and ideas that can enhance, the movement. So, you know, uh, after a friend, of ours from the hometown, being murdered, that was like the thing that sparked the anything could happen. I mean, and it could happen tomorrow, so we should go ahead and progress and start this movement now. And once we got rolling, we never stopped rolling from there. I mean, from peace festivals to visiting schools to art galleries to poetry shows. And I encourage people to just do it, just do it, because we didn't know essentially what we were doing. We didn't even know how to get a nonprofit started. We didn't know how to go about doing some of these things. It was just like, this is what we want to do, so we gonna learn along the way. And it's been so many times we might have, fell on our face, where things might not have gone our way or the way that we wanted them to go. Well, we stayed consistent and learned along the way. And that's what Soul Society is all about. It's what it's all about, teaching and showing people as well. Get started, do your thing. Because the best way to learn some things is through experience. And if you don't experience it, if you don't get out there, it may never happen, so it formed through passion.
Yeah, it may never happen. It'll be a shoulda, coulda, woulda. One thing that cripples our potential as people is fear.
Hmm.
I associate an acronym with fear. False evidence appearing real.
Mm-hmm.
When you are like tapped into your God energy, when you are tapped into your potential, when you have set your mind to know that all things are possible, then fear is kind of like, what? I can't hear you, fear.
Mm-hmm.
You become deaf to you become deaf to all the doubt and everything. So I salute y'all for that, because I was watching the interview that brother had with David Banner, and David Banner was praising y'all for how consistent you all have been. And I praise y'all for the consistency that you have shown, because dang it, how consistent are we? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is one demon that we need to trample upon, the lack of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I salute y'all for that.
Much love.
I'm gonna throw a few books at you. I want to know which ones you are most familiar with, and which one could you see yourself, just diving in, reading, and taking lessons from. You ready for it?
Okay. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Okay, let's see. I got here the selected writings and speeches of Marcus Garvey.
I would love to read that. You know, so I mean, there are different things like I found on YouTube because I love to hear his voice. You know, so and now that I have his voice in my head, reading those speeches will ring on a whole different level. You know, because I'll be able to hear his tones. I don't know. I'm like that. You know, sometimes or I don't voice to it, but I would love to dive into that.
I would love to play Marcus Garvey. I won't even cut my hair to do it. From the Brawler File.
Oh man, so I was watching the interview with him and David Banner. You know, I can't even think of the author's name right now. But
Anthony Brown.
yes, yeah, yeah. Oh man, yes. I haven't read that, would love to, you know, because I love the interview and how deep he went into it. And then he also has a timeline, you know, that comes with it that oh man, I think that'll be powerful for classrooms for sure.
Yeah, it is powerful. It's yo, in it, he is breaking down what it means to what Christ means, where Christmas come from,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have walked in I've walked inside my church with this several times. If somebody was to open it and read what Anthony Brown was saying inside of it, woo wee. Autobiography of Malcolm X.
Oh yeah, I've started that one. Love Malcolm X. Absolutely.
Same here, man. Same here. Now, the Bible.
The Bible.
Yeah.
Man, I've been introduced to that in so many different ways. Um, my father's an apostle. My grandmother, you know, is a pastor. Um, my aunt, prophetess, her husband is a minister. My other uncle is an apostle. I grew up in the church choir. I've experienced it from so many different levels. I might experience it, you know, from having conversations with my dad and we breaking things down. And I love having those conversations with him because he knows how to connect it on a universal level. Whereas I'm not just reading this, you know, this scripture or this passage and expecting you to just totally understand it. Now let's have real conversation about it. And there's so many things and life lessons and pieces of moral that's in there that I think if the people that supposedly live and die by that, if they really dove into it, they'd get some other understandings, you know, themselves. And I think they'd also have questions to ask also, you know, so yes, sir.
Well, in that regard, I would have to ask you, what's your favorite scripture?
Hmm. Be still and know that I am God. You know, sometimes people are too busy just being on the move, you know, or trying to figure out, you know, the direction. Nah, sometimes you gotta chill, you know, and that's my favorite because I've had to like remind myself of that so many times. Nah, just be still and let God work.
I get Be Still and Let God Work vibes all throughout that float video, man.
Facts. Well, man, it's heavy meditation. Be still, chill, let your mind rest.
Yes, man. Yes, yes, yes. I would say that my top favorite will be Luke 1:37, where it says, "For with God, all nothing is impossible,"
Hmm.
and that has helped me, you know, achieve heights and feats that I could have never foreseen myself doing without the Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
Now I will ask you this: you have a passion for the arts. You rap, you do great poetry, you have helped some kids' dreams come true as they present their visual arts.
Mm-hmm.
And I applaud y'all for that. It was a beautiful thing to see, especially Homegirl, man. Homegirl. I'm like, dang, is she
Yeah.
18? Is she
Yeah.
18 or 30? Young.
Well, that's what's powerful about the ability to be able to articulate what it is that you're feeling or what it is that you need to express and having an outlet to be able to do that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that what was it? Chaos is that
Chaos
what
is
does it say on the
creativity.
rubber band?
Yeah, chaos
Yes,
is creativity.
absolutely. You know, I also the quote that said what's bad for your heart is good for your heart. And that kind of aligns with the chaos is creativity to me, you know, because I mean you take all of this mess and you can create something beautiful out of it. The same way that artists do all of the time. You know, I just experienced 21C in Durham, which is a hotel that has art on all these different floors. But last night, one of the ladies, Miss Regina, took us on a tour through the restaurant. The restaurant was closed, you know, but you know, she took us on a tour, and all of the different art that was on the wall, there was shoes, shredded tires, thumbtacks, and different things that people would probably just throw away. That people made so many different beautiful pieces of art. You know, so out of chaos is creativity. What's bad for your heart is good for your art. You can take the darkness and create light, just like that.
Oh, agreed. Definitely. Now, I must ask you, speaking as an active participant in my favorite art form, the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever indulged or engaged on the stage outside of rapping or doing
Not. I I have no. Hold on. I mean I have, you know, in my younger years, you know, doing plays, you know, in middle school, high school, things of that nature. And then like even beyond that, as a mentor, um, I've helped, you know, some students, you know, during stage plays, Jungle Book, Lion King, things like that, you know, with young, but not myself as an actor with lines that I've got to memorize. And it's something that I'm interested in doing. I've been in a movie. Didn't have like a big role, but I kind of got the feel, you know, of that creative process. So I would love to, you know, stage because I love all things creative, you know, and I feel like I could, you know, pull some other pieces of my personality in creative ways, you know, to the stage for sure.
Well, speaking as a man who has acted in 44, 45 plays, you know, I'm not stunting really. I'm just throwing actual factions out there.
Right, right.
But in doing that, I say the stage awaits you, my friend, because you got to have a little bit of theater and you got to have some theater inside of you to be able to tell these stories through song and through spoken word. That's theater
Hmm.
itself.
True indeed. I agree with that.
And if hip hop wasn't theater, then daggone Hamilton wouldn't be the biggest box office play out there right now. People love it
Hmm.
because they are spitting in there.
Hmm. If hip
Have
hop
you
wasn't theater, if hip hop wasn't theater, they wouldn't have somebody like Beyonce, you know, do the whole Lion King soundtrack, you know, because we need all of these things, you know, to enhance the movement, you know, to enhance the moment rather.
did you see Black is King, man?
Absolutely. I saw it when it dropped. I got Disney just for that.
Man, when I saw that, I was so happy that I had my ex-girlfriend's Disney Plus code. I was so happy because I saw that it did man, that was church right there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that joint was powerful. I enjoyed it.
I mean, seeing all that African culture, seeing how us who are from America got with them who are in the continent and just was like, yo, we're family. We're family. We are one family.
Hmm.
And that's where I first heard the Burna Boy joint, Jara. Love that joint. Love that joint.
Hmm.
Also, that's where I was jealous of Jay-Z because I grew my locks just to get my hair like that. You know what I'm saying? But I failed miserably, but it's all good. I still look great with it. But that and what can Beyonce? I didn't think that Beyonce could top Lemonade, but she did with Black is King. Now, what can she do to top
Hmm.
Black is
We shall see. I mean, the best is yet to come. We don't know. You know what I mean, man, you never know. I mean, and it might drop tonight at midnight. You
It
know, the way
might.
that
No
they
her.
move. Yeah.
But you want to know something that was that I believe was missing from Black is King?
What's that?
They should have been drinking on this in the daggone movie, man.
Facts. They should have been drinking in it, swimming in it, all of that. That's what they need in their life.
You like how I made that segue?
Hey, let's do it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's so many different ways that you make the transitions, and you did it.
Thank you. So, how did y'all get into the water game?
Man, so, on a mission, so we talked about self-sustainability, earlier. And on a mission for our own self-sustainability, but to teach young people, about land, about getting your hands dirty, about how to plant things and then reap your harvest. We were in search of different farmers and people with land who were willing to be a part of this educational process as well. And along with that, we were introduced to a brother that not only had land, but water, aquifers that's pushing this water out of the earth, So in that process out there, connect, see what's going on. And excuse me, some things are already, going in process. And this was something that we wanted to be a part of. Had no idea that we'd be encountering water, never even thought about, and things of that nature. But that's how it came about. So we haven't, we were having conversations on how to become, join in on the business portion of it. And bro jumped out there and, kind of got some things started. And then we, were just having conversations on how to grow this, how to create, distribution in other places as well. And man, we've been rolling. You know what I'm saying? We just celebrated 1 year of being in partnership, with Live Alkaline Water. And
that consistency I've been talking about, man.
Yes,
No, I'm
sir.
sorry.
Nah. That's where I was, we just celebrated that year and have been in reflection, of that process. Year kind of went by fast, man. But yeah, it was a process of learning, about water and then getting it to the people and still learning, so many different things. But man, that's a piece of the story.
So I'm hoping that the Pepsi company will not sue me for saying this, but I remember seeing you at a look like the same joint where y'all shot the float video at, but I remember seeing a video where you were pointing out all of the chemicals that's in Dasani and how pure the water that you all push is from. So just to be 100% clear, there's absolutely zero chemicals, zero additives or anything in the live alkaline water that you all sell.
Absolutely, live and die by it. No additional unnecessaries in there.
So the water that I can get from the store, there are additional unnecessaries in there. You've been in the you've been in the water industry for a year, so you probably know this. Why do they put those additional things in there?
Well, they water from any source. They might, or get it from a river or whatever, and then take it through a process of stripping it to remove whatever toxins are in it. But they also strip it down so much that it's just a liquid. Then they have to go back and add artificial minerals and things like that. That ain't living water, that's dead water. That's water that you had to kill and then try to bring back to life. You don't need that. You don't need that. That's why it's live. That's why on the live alkaline bottle, you'll see a body with chakras up there because it is fully living. The only process that is taken through is a process that oxidation process to kill any bacteria that could be in the water. And our body even needs, some of that as we continue to build, strong things of that nature. But it takes out any of those toxins, but doesn't strip out the 108 minerals that's naturally in the water because the land is on a mineral-based bed property. So not only that, we are in direct connection with the source. So we can speak these things with so much truth because we know it, because we are out there often, knowing what's going on, seeing the building process of even what's going on the land is such a spiritual experience.
So I'm back on your website, and let's see. Here is number one. Number one, just point this out. Is black owned, all natural, 100% chemical free, H3TO 2O, sourced from an aquifer with springs that sits above a mineral rock bed. The water contains a natural pH balance of 7.4 through 8.2 and has an alkalinity of 8.0. Live
Hmm.
alkaline water has over 108 minerals that the body needs. The best part is that no artificial processes was used to alter this water. It comes fresh from the source. The benefits are natural detox, 108 minerals, heals skin ailments, reduces menstrual cycle. Wow, for ladies,
Hmm.
weight loss, strengthens immune system. I wonder why I don't get sick, and increase levels of energy.
Hmm.
And if you won't take my word from it, how great it is, Master P drank some of it, loved it.
Hmm.
Dr. Umar Johnson drank some of it, talking about Yakiville. What the heck? Yakiville, really? Yakinville.
Uh,
Enjoyed it. It's black owned. I enjoy it. I love it. You know what I'm
hmm.
saying? I don't think I've ever drank as much water. I don't think I've ever drank as much water in my entire life.
Things happen with different levels of intention, once you learn things and become educated on things. So I mean, I drank, water, but I drink it with a different level of intention now because I know, what's going on with this water. So I know, that it's flushing, toxins out of my body. I know that is helping, oh, we on. I think we still here. I'm gonna wait for the brother to come back.
Sorry about that, brother. I lost signal. Yo, T.
Okay, we good.
Yeah, sorry about that. My signal dropped. Sorry about that.
No doubt, no doubt. But yeah, I've been drinking more water, you know, now that I, totally, know what's going on, and just really it was a part of changing, my lifestyle as far as eating, and working out as well. Because some of the best ways to activate the benefits is, through the changing of your eating habits as well, through the changing of your daily routines and workout habits, to really, put these minerals to good use, in your body. To people see the weight loss portion of it and it's like, all right, just by drinking this water, am I gonna lose weight? And I'm like, sure, but what else are you doing to assist with that? Are you still eating and like not moving? Like, nah, you gotta move your body as well because you gotta, release some of these toxins as well. That's assisting with the build of all of this additional weight, that your body has. You know, muscle building comes through even oxygen, so nah, you gotta put that pure, in there. Hey, we got two of you in the building.
Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, T. Had to take care of some things that were lacking. That's why my computer was tripping. Technology even works. So what was you saying about the water? You know how you cannot just drink water and expect to lose weight?
Oh yeah, we got to be active. You know what I'm saying? So, the key way to activate, anything is to be active. You can't activate without being active.
Yeah. You have to be active in order to activate. That's why the word active is in the word activate.
Tabernacle Church.
So I have had you for almost an hour and 15 minutes, man. So tell me this real quick. What does the future look like for T.Walker?
The future. So, I'm a father, right now. So, as I'm teaching so many other kids, you're gonna see my super kid, grow, from all of this expertise that her father has, gained. Um, but in the creative world, you're gonna see me into my gallery curation on a whole nother level. So it's something I've done for the past, 5 years. Soul Society's been in action for 6 years. So I guess I've technically been doing it for 6 years. But now I'm in a different space of study when it comes to gallery curation and um, other curators that have come before me and what it really takes, to be a curator. It's more than just putting up art. And I love, did you get a chance to check out the exhibit that I had up from February to April, the Soliloquies exhibit?
I checked out some of it. I wasn't able to look at all of it, but
The experience that I was able to create with that was really dope because I was able to educate on so many different ways and tour people through the exhibit. So I love the idea of the experience, So I'm looking at, different things other curators like David Driscoll um did, and learning and figuring out ways to add my own unique touch. There's nothing new, but we can always upgrade, and it is purposeful for us to stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. So I'm studying these things, and you'll see me as a gallery curator on a whole another level. There will be, of course, plenty of music coming because I'm gonna be constantly doing that. But some people know me as a gallery curator, but you're gonna see it on a whole nother level.
As far as the soliloquies go, I feel like it is kind of like a marriage of art and spoken word, if I'm not mistaken.
It was exactly that: art, spoken word, storytelling, music. It was a little bit of everything, and I wanted to do that because again, the experience was important for me.
So I'm going to briefly step out of the chair of podcast host and step into the artist chair. The artist who is promoting himself. You need to get me up in there, mug. And you need to get me up in that mug.
For sure. Listen, we come in with it next. And what's crazy is I did everything. So my daughter was born January. The exhibit went up February 4th. So everything. So when there was the time of preparation for she might come any day now to all right, cool, let me take a week off and then I'm in the gallery for a week trying to, get poems and pieces from everybody. But I'm glad that people got a chance to see it and became interested, because I know that I won't have to hunt people down next time. I'll be able to, hey, I got these images that I need people to write something for. Or I didn't get a chance to really incorporate theater, in it, in the way that I would that I will in the future. So yeah. It's gonna be some things that come. I'm gonna keep this as a constant evolvement exhibit. So let's do something for sure.
Let's do it, man. Shoot, send me a piece, and I could definitely write to it. And as far as theater goes, I mean, as I'm flipping my unk around, just finished it today.
No
I was
doubt.
Hamlet.
Oh, okay. How was it? Like, how was the full experience?
Oh man. Well, for one thing, this was like another. This has been something that I've been doing since I first moved to Greensboro. I would be in Shakespearean plays, and they would take place outside, just to fully grasp the feeling of what Shakespeare plays were like back in his days. Now, I don't want the entire experience because back in Shakespeare days, all of the female roles were played by little boys. No, not in this lifetime, not in next lifetime, never. But in regards to the actual performance and the feedback, I've got great feedback, and Shakespeare has long been a hang-up for me because I could never understand what that weird little white man was saying. But I finally got an idea of what he's saying. What he was saying was straight poetry in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Though, while a lot of my theatrical friends and comrades greatly celebrate Shakespeare, my Shakespeare is the great August Wilson.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He also, his daughter's name is the same as my name. My daughter's name, Sakina. I learned that later. So that just gave me another reason, for connecting, with August Wilson as well. What's the that movie that just came out that was, based on one of his plays?
My Rain's Black Bottom.
Yeah, that Chadwick Boseman was in.
That man was suffering from hardcore pain, from colon cancer, while doing all of that.
I mean, this man, he plays so many different Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Black Panther. Like he did, like man, he touched on a little bit of everything and everybody. It was like, wow, he put it out there. He definitely put it out there on the line. And when you live for it, you live it. You know what I mean? Until it's over. And he definitely did it.
Yeah, not only that, but he was also Thurgood Marshall. And people don't talk about 21 Bridges very much. But I like 21 Bridges. He could have just kept on doing, big event films as a superhero and stuff, but him being the artiste that he was, he put himself in that crime thriller genre. And he did really well in my opinion. And also when he was in The Five Bloods, Spike Lee was messing with us because he knew we wanted more of Chadwick.
Oh man, yeah, he killed that. I haven't seen 21 Bridges, but I've definitely seen all of the others.
Yeah, so I don't want to be another Chadwick Boseman, but I long to attain the level of skill that he attained, and hopefully, if possible, overlap it, get better, be better, something like that.
Hey, listen, it's truly possible. You know what I mean? No question about it.
Yeah, what people don't know was brother was also a playwright, and bless our us who are quick with the pen, right? So when you start putting together that soliloquy, please send your brother some paintings and stuff. I'll have some words for him because I had some words for the paintings that I saw at the gallery joint a couple last weekend. Just man, them kids got skills, man.
Yeah. I mean, and we got to continue to put them in position, to where they can see that, to where they can get that feedback, because they doing these things out of passion, and out of love. But again, being able to be exposed to that type of feedback is important as well, for them to be able to hear from DJ Ian Pop, from Vanessa Ferguson, from Main Man, people who come from different walks. That's very important, because I mean they they take that, there's because then there's also people that could be that age and that experience, um that's not in that field, that could be like, man, this is a hobby, man, put that art down, you know what I mean, versus somebody that's letting them know how important they are and how important their artistry is. So we got to continue to put our young people in these positions.
Agreed. If anything else, hopefully they'll know that there are people selling paintings that don't look half as good as their paintings for billions of dollars in New York
Right.
museums.
Mm-hmm.
Now, real quick before we wrap this up, I asked you what's next for you. What's next for Soul Society?
What's next for Soul Society? So we're bringing back some of the different things that we during the pandemic. We were locked in on this water. But the Heart Gallery experience is one of those major experiences that gives young people the exposure, to the arts and the platform. It's like our open mic, for visual arts, where poetry and all these other things are included, but there's no like open mic for visual arts. So we'll be bringing that back. Um, we were doing the Hydrate the Hood, where we would, go into different, predominantly black, communities and neighborhoods and give away, the live alkaline water. We are fortunate to be able to utilize this as a stream of income. And we want to make sure that people continue to get access, to this water as well. So we know that you can go get like Pure Life, a case of that for like maybe $5, $6 or something like that. So economically, it will benefit them to go purchase that, versus purchasing, something that, costs more from us. So we're going to continue to do the Hydrate the Hoods. We are giving away this live alkaline water because of how essential it is, and that only comes again from the support that we get from other people that made donations, people that, contributed, people that came out there with us and knocked on doors and delivered water. We're a part of the Beautify the Block, where we went to places like Claremont Homes and just cleaned up, because part of the mental is very connected to the visual, so if you see, trash, if your home doesn't look like it has worth of value, then you'll treat it as such, but you also live there. So it's like, what am I worth? If this place that I reside, you know, doesn't seem to have value. So we'll be continuing to, do those things that we do in partnership with our brother Dom, the intellectual action there that the light skinned Malcolm X you was talking about earlier. Akeem, who was really the one that came to us, with that, something he had been doing in Philadelphia. And we were like, hell yeah, we're gonna do that here. You know what I'm saying? Why not? So continuing to, do things like that. And hopefully we can really get back into some schools. If not, I'll do like I did at the beginning of the pandemic before and do like virtual writing workshops. And I'll do your typical one where I'm focused on the structure of writing and alliterations and things of those nature. Those things come, but I'm focused on simply your expression, simply you just writing on paper and getting things out and having dialogue and you being comfortable, even with that collective that we're working with to talk, because I feel like young people don't have, everybody can talk, and you can find somebody to talk to, but I feel like they don't always have that space that feels safe, for them to articulate their expression. See, even some of these youngsters who think they gangsters, like I have conversations with them and I can feel their fear, you know what I'm saying? I can also feel their need for connection and family. So, they find, these people that feel like family for them. I know that they need finances, so they gonna go to who is providing, some financial stability or a job, for them. So really being able to continue to connect and provide some spaces, and opportunities for them. That's what's next for Soul Society.
Last question. What schools do y'all go? What schools do y'all go to?
So we were at Cone Elementary School. We were doing a lot of different things there. Our friend Kay Marley, one of our sisters that she inspired me just by seeing how, she um organized and shaped her classroom and the things that she had around in there. A lot of RBG, a lot of messages, from people like us and the ancestors, and she brought people in. Um, Dudley High School, we had a program in there where we were able to be most consistent, called Life Designs, where we were essentially in the in-school suspension, and so we would be in that class, and we would have groups of young men come in there on 2 different periods, and we would talk. We would have real conversations about the world, about what's going on, about what they aspire to do. Excuse me, and things like that. And then our brother LB, who's out in Winston-Salem, he was at the Winston-Salem Street School and things of that nature. So we would, pop up there with him, and go in there and spit some rhymes. And then, again, have conversation. My biggest teaching style is focused on the dialogue, because through the conversation, then I can implement science, history, and all of these other things without them feeling like this is some structural schooling type of thing, which sometimes is intimidating or boring, you know. So adding my own flavors for all the neighbors, you dig?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, there's a couple schools that I would like to see y'all make your presence felt in. Both of them are schools that I used to work for. Jones Elementary School and Washington Montessori School. I have a plug. I have a little bit of a plug over at Jones Elementary School. They are right across the street from Hampton Homes. We got little brothers and little sisters there who could use some soul society in their life. And I'm pretty sure that the same need is prevalent over at Washington Montessori School. So if y'all could put those 2 schools on your list, you're needed there. I will tell you that you're needed there.
Plug us in. You know what I mean? We with that for sure.
Well, Washington Montessori, I don't have a plug there. I left there on bad terms, but Jones Elementary, I might have a plug. I might.
For sure.
So,
well, we might be able to wiggle our way up in there.
Just might be able to. They have a black principal, and it's a predominantly black school, so you just might be able to. I hope you're able to. You will do it. God stood out there in the middle of darkness and said, "Let there be light." If we are made in God's image, then we have the right to speak things. So you all will wiggle your way up into Washington Montessori School.
Church.
Now, how can someone contact you for water, get you on a rhyme, give you a beat because they're in a giving mood, pull out your acting side and get you in the play, or get on your gallery? How can someone contact T.Walker?
Well, the website is Heavy Energy University. So we're shipping throughout the country. So if you need some of that water, all you gotta do is go to the website, put your order in, and we'll get you right from there. I'm Terrence Walker on Facebook, so you can find me there, and you can, continue to see the things that we have going on. My inbox is always open. I'm T.Walker NC on everything from Snapchat to Cash App and everything in between. That includes Instagram and whatever y'all might have, except for TikTok. I ain't up there yet. But yeah, I mean, these are different ways to be able to reach me. If you want to hit me via email, then at TWalkerNC, just add a dot between the TW. at gmail.com.
And anybody who is Soul Society affiliated and you are watching this, if you want to hit me up, my email is adq4christ at gmail.com. Twitter, Avenue ADQ_85. Instagram, Dion Chocolate Guy 85. And Facebook, Adrian Dion Quarles, ADRIAN DION QUARLES. Please do not call CIA on me. T!
Yes, sir. My connection was messed up, so I just got back.
Man, that's why we about to end this call. Someone's watching this. not wanting all this black power to get up out there. So, but
sure.
yo, thank you for your time, man. Thank you for your gems. Thank you for all that you contribute to the culture. You, sir, are a very valued, needed, desired, necessary member of the Renaissance. Our people are great. Our people are better because of you. So thank you, sir.
No doubt about it. I appreciate you for having me, and constantly providing a platform for people to share knowledge and gain knowledge at the same time. We need our vessels, continue to do so. So I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate that, brother. Now, in this episode, you will hear lots of T.Walker music, but I have to play a joint for my brother GP. A song that he did with his kids. T, you could check this out if you would like. That he did with his kids. Black fatherhood in its purest. From his album that he dropped on Saturday, the Re-Up. Let's see if I can find it. Hopefully, T, you can do some work with brother.
Say that again.
So what? I said, hopefully one day you can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I said, hopefully you could do work with brother one day, but check out this video. This is Mr. GP featuring his kids.
Let's go.
Superheroes.
There's a Jeremiah Lynn reporting 5 or Channel 5 News. Oh my, there's something really cool. Extremely cool. 3 people being of a villain. What the heck? I heard somebody say villain. I heard somebody say superhero. Wait, are these superhero fighting? Wow. Superman. We are superheroes. We have superpowers. We stand tall like a bench tower. Super. We are superheroes. We have superpowers. We stand tall like a bench tower. Super.
Taking off, running with this true foundation. Kryptonite, your situation is only temporary. This information is very necessary. If you open to believe, you are open to receive. You can get up out the rut, tell the devil to shut up. When I let my hands in places like flying, to say he didn't chase me, I'd be lying. No resisting over here, we straight complying. We don't play the victim over here, we sharp as iron. We read the scriptures over here, we keep them buying. Superheroes saving souls, Jesus Christ, he in control. We on gold, my faith is getting swole. Thank you for protecting my family, my bros. And I thank you for that confirmation, making squad goals. And we beef up on it, we climbing that pole. Put the pressure on in this loud, wild, whipping cool. Searching for that living water, catch me standing at the brook. No matter how dark it looks, we sticking to that holy wood. Represent the king of kings, I'm gonna let my kids sing.
We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a bench tower. We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a bench tower. I'm about to take off with this verse now. Hey, super drippy with the sauce now. Hey, it doesn't matter what it costs now. Hey, we winning songs cause they lost now. Hey, we super sick with it. This ain't pandemic. You better run away or you're gonna catch a fade. We plead the blood in Jesus' name. We don't play games, yeah. It's not a thing, yeah. Superhero kid, yeah. That's my gang, yeah. So who want it? You can get the smoke. We spread the gospel everywhere. Oh, yeah. Step inside the booth. Oh, yeah. Yeah, step inside the booth, put my super clothes on. We on the grind, in pursuit to draw the line. We take our time, we fight in battles all the time. Yeah, we combine like the fusion hop, superheroes in this thing, and we got no time. We are superheroes, we have superpowers. We stand tall like a Avengers Tower. Super.
Yo, what you think about that, brother?
We are superheroes. We got superpowers. I definitely I always go for a good affirmation.
Say it one more time.
I said I can definitely always go for some good affirmations.
You know what I'm saying? Now, before I let you go, I just want to point out, his son. Why in the world are kids wearing hoodies as high as it is? But anyway, the one who had on the hoodie with the locks back. You want to know something powerful about him?
What's that?
Boy had cancer, man. He had cancer as a youngster when he was younger. But God delivered him.
Wow, that's powerful. Superheroes. We got superpowers.
That's right. Ha! Man. So, yo, if you want to hear that song and some more power and stuff, his name is Mr. GP Re-Up, the Re-Up album, where all streaming can be heard.
For sure.
And for my people who are checking this out, you can also check out T.Walker, where all music can be heard. T.Walker, GP, Natman. I know great musicians. Yo, T, thank you again for joining me, brother. I really appreciate it.
No doubt about it, bro. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. This is ADQ's Renaissance, and we out.